And as anticipated, we've got a lot of cars that stayed out, but we've got several that's hit pit road.
Montoya stopping short in his box. 2 tires will be the call for JPM. And he's away, Steve.
Well, Matt, 4 tires for Jeff Gordon is the call here. No other adjustments on his Chevrolet. Krista.
Martin Truex and his team are in. They're surprised there were not more takers. A 2-tire stop for Martin.
Looks like we maybe had about 12, 14 cars stayed out.
Hamlin beat Rudeman for the first one off pit road, but of course there were quite a number of drivers who chose not to stop.
Well, that's tough when you got a 2-tire stop like that. You're coming back out in the traffic coming in. Surprised we didn't have more trouble because we had a mess here in the qualifiers.
Carl Edwards hard at work.
Affleck.
That poor duck's going to be in for a tough year.
What are the 3 winningest car numbers in Daytona 500 history? Not just the Daytona 500. That's our Affleck trivia question. We'll give you some time to ponder that one.
Tough year from a duck's perspective.
Yes.
He's going to be along for some exciting rides.
First of those numbers ought to be pretty easy if you've been paying attention through the years.
No kidding.
Ten laps complete. Lights are out on top of the safety car. So we'll look for the green flag this time by. Now we do still expect the competition yellow at lap 25.
But you know, even after only about 7 laps on those tires, I'm sure even the teams that stayed out, they were going to teammates and other teams that pitted just to take a look at those right side tires.
That's good information. Even for later in the day, that's good information. What kind of buildup do you get in those number of laps? That's a good thing to know.
Kyle Busch driving for Joe Gibbs Racing. Had 21 wins last year in NASCAR's top 3 series. 8 in Sprint Cup, 10 in the Nationwide Series, and 3 in what's now the Camping World Truck Series. He leads the field. We're back under green.
Well, just think about Kyle. He's picking up right where he left off, Mike. I mean, he could easily have won 3 events already down here. He had second in the trucks and almost won that thing yesterday. Won his qualifying race. Should have won the race, could have won the race last year here, the 500.
Top line got a good run off turn 2. It made Carl Edwards in the 99 jumped up there in front of him.
Krista, why did Kyle Busch not pit?
He wanted track position, Mike, but the funny thing is, a few laps earlier, he talked about a vibration. He said, boys, the same thing we had in practice, it's back. Steve Addington, the crew chief, said, let's come in and get a new set. Kyle said, no, I want to keep my track position. I want to stay out front.
Yeah, I don't think it's tires. They thought it was a harmonic in maybe the headers or the drivetrain or something. He might be just knowing it's the same thing he felt in practice, giving that information to the team.
Mark Martin is second, and Bobby Labonte, who a couple of months ago didn't have a ride for this season, is sitting there third in that Yates Ford, or Yates rather Hall of Fame Racing Ford from with an alliance with Yates Racing.
Well,
and he's got a new lease on life right here.
Ask and you shall receive.
You know, one of the more feel-good stories, Mike, you talked about it in the starting lineup as I'm looking at that outside line that Carl Edwards is bringing along that 99 car, is Scott Riggs in that 36 car. Scott, a little over a month ago, did not even have a ride. His owner of this car, Tommy Baldwin, who was the winning crew chief for this race back in 2002, put this team together. They came down here, and here they are. They're qualified for the Daytona 500, running up in the top 10.
Kyle Busch, your leader in the Great American Race. 12 of 200 laps completed. $16 laps complete. Kyle Busch still your leader. The top dozen cars right now single file. That's through about Jimmy Johnson. Winning his car number, of course. Richard Petty's won this race 7 times, always in the number 43. Number 28 has 5 victories, and number 21, 4. Moments ago, mid-pack, Scott Riggs right behind Jeff Gordon, who makes a move to the inside on Casey Kane here. Trying to catch the front pack. Have a look on the lower right. Watch the 36 of Riggs.
It's the white car right back here behind Jeff Gordon. Watch this baby. Goodbye. No.
Just remember that sideways is about 185, 186 miles per hour.
Here's Jimmy Johnson's view of all that.
Outside only, outside only, outside only.
And that really stacked up and split this field into 2 packs of cars.
Now watch this. What do you think he's telling him, Larry?
Well, let's see. There's 2, 4, and that would be the 2-4 car that was right in front of him. I don't know if he's trying to tell him, hey, I had to check up or I was going to get into the 24 car and then I got loose.
Steve Burns has more.
Mike, you used the expression stacked up. That's exactly what Kurt Busch said from inside his number 2 car. He said, I stacked those guys all up because I don't have any speed.
Now, talking about the 2-4 car, Jeff Gordon, right now, that's the highest running car that made that pit stop back on lap 8. He has made his way back up to the 6th position. We had about 19 cars that did not pit. Gordon is the highest of the cars that did pit.
We do know the caution will come out at lap 25 for the competition yellow, and everybody should be into the pits then.
You know, if I was running 9th, I don't think I'd talk too badly about my race car this early in the day. It's got enough speed to keep up with that group.
And last year, Kurt Busch's car wasn't all that fast through the race. Where'd he finish? Right on his teammates' bumper. 1-2, Ryan Newman, Kurt Busch, first and second. We'll update our pole sitter, Martin Truex Jr., when we come back. You're watching the Daytona 500. This is NASCAR on Fox.